When you see our planet from space, it's this beautiful blue marble, just dominated by these vast oceans. But that image, well, it's hiding a pretty critical paradox. Today, we're diving deep into our planet's most essential and, believe it or not, surprisingly finite resource, fresh water.
So, we all know that a whopping 97% of the Earth's water is salt water. You can't drink it without some serious processing. That leaves just a tiny 3% as freshwater. But the real question, the one that really matters, is where is that 3% actually hiding?
And here is the reality check. Of that tiny little sliver of fresh water, nearly 70% is locked away, totally frozen in glaciers and ice caps. Another 30% is groundwater, buried deep beneath our feet. So that means just over 1% is the easily accessible surface water that we find in lakes and rivers. That's it.
And that right there is the great freshwater paradox of our planet. We are living on a water world, but the amount that we can actually use is incredibly and frankly shockingly scarce.
Just think about that for a minute. That tiny fraction of water has to support every single one of the 8 billion people on Earth. And that's not even counting all of our agriculture, all of our industry, and all of our ecosystems. It is a truly staggering challenge.
So, what this does is set up a fundamental conflict. It's a great imbalance between what we need and what we actually have available. Let's take a look at the forces at play here.
On one side of this tug-of-war, you've got demand just exploding. A growing population, more and more factories, and the need to produce more food are all demanding more water. But on the other side, our already limited supply is under some serious pressure from a changing climate, contamination from pollution, and the simple fact that we are pulling water out of the ground way faster than nature can possibly replenish it. And this visualizes the problem perfectly. Just look at that gap. For the last 100 years or so, our renewable freshwater supply has been, well, pretty constant. It's basically a flat line. But our demand? It's on this steep, relentless upward climb. And that growing space between those two lines, that's where the crisis lives. So here's the crucial point. A water crisis isn't just about not having enough to drink. Its ripple effects touch every single aspect of our modern world. It's so much more than just thirst. First and foremost, it's a direct threat to our food. Agriculture is the single biggest user of fresh water on the planet. So when the wells run low, so do the harvests. It's pretty simple. Less water means less food, which means higher prices and a lot more instability. It also puts a huge strain on our energy grid. Think about it. Hydropower dams rely on strong river flows, and thermal and nuclear power plants need massive amounts of water for cooling. Generating electricity is an incredibly thirsty business.
And, whenever a critical resource becomes scarce, tensions just naturally rise. So many of the world's most important rivers cross national borders. And the competition for that shared water, well, it's increasingly becoming a flashpoint for geopolitical friction and even conflict.
Now, this might all feel like a huge, distant problem, but it's connected to everything we do, every single day, through a concept called virtual water. It's the hidden water footprint that's embedded in the food we eat, the clothes we wear, and pretty much every product we buy. Okay, get this. A single cotton t-shirt requires about 2,700 liters of water to produce, mostly from growing the cotton. That hamburger you might have had for lunch, that's around 2,400 liters. All of a sudden, this global issue is sitting right there in your closet and on your dinner plate. But look, this isn't about despair. It's about understanding, and with understanding comes the power to innovate and to act. The good news is, we are already developing some absolutely incredible ways to turn the tide. There's no single magic bullet here. Instead, the solution is a whole portfolio of different strategies. We're talking about new technologies to create fresh water and recycle what we use, smarter farming techniques to get more crop per drop, better government policies to manage our resources, and a real commitment from corporations to be responsible stewards. Let's just zoom in on one of those technologies, desalination. The process is actually pretty elegant. Seawater gets drawn in, it's pushed at super high pressure through these membranes that are so fine that only water molecules can pass through, and the fresh, pure water is collected. Now, yeah, it's energy intensive, and managing the leftover salty brine is a challenge, but it is an increasingly powerful tool in our arsenal. Ultimately, securing our water future goes way beyond just technology and policy. It's really about a shift in perspective.
It's a shared responsibility that falls on every single one of us.
The poet W.H. Auden captured this perfectly. He wrote, "Thousands have lived without love, not one without water." I mean, that's just a stark reminder of how absolutely fundamental this resource is to our very existence.
So, as we wrap this up, I'll leave you with this question. We know water is priceless. It's essential for life itself. But the decisions we make today, as individuals, as companies, and as countries, are going to determine its future value and its availability for generations to come. So, what is that future worth?